greatest lesson I've learned about this CERT class, I would have to say, is the importance of the overall picture of the disaster or whatever we come across to help, and sizing up the people, getting them ready to go, deciding who needs to be treated first versus, major injuries versus minor injuries versus, somebody that we're going to be able to get out fairly, they can basically walk out themselves versus, hey, we need to get more people here. I know the city of Dallas has limited resources, and, taking this class and knowing that the city only has 53 ambulances, and going to a training camp, and 10 of the 53 ambulances are parked in the parking lot, not being able to be used. If we have a major tornado, like they had in Rowlett or any of the other cities, the city of Dallas is not going to be prepared for this, and you're going to need people like myself or other people that have taken this class to be able to step up and kind of help out, and to not overwhelm the responders, the first responders that'll be there.
For me, the greatest lesson is teamwork and knowing how to rely and trust on others whenever you need them the most.
Well, the best thing about CERT was it teaches you whether you want to be helpless or helpful in an emergency situation. Most people would say, I'd rather be helpful than helpless, and that's what CERT teaches.
Well, the greatest lesson that I've learned from being part of CERT is that I feel more comfortable now taking care of my family and helping my neighbors. Before this class, I wasn't sure what I needed to have. I didn't consider the water needs for my whole household. I didn't consider the needs of things laying around and things and pieces of debris that can affect my neighbors. Also, take care of my neighbors. And I need to now now I'm aware that there's a couple of neighbors that are limited because they have their age. A couple of the homes in my neighborhood have ramps, handicap ramps. So it makes me think more now that I have to have a plan to, after I take care of my situation, to take care of their situation, because they might not have all the means.
Situational awareness in my surroundings, in my community, and not necessarily being paranoid, but just being aware of what's around me. And
just the benefit of the knowledge of all the little minor things that I've learned in this class, how to come up to the victims, identify the victims, the minor bandaging, when to use a tourniquet, when not to use a tourniquet, how to bandage, proper way to get a guy into the proper form to roll him over on his side so he's not going to choke on himself. Little things like that, the little details that I want to help, but you don't know what to do. This class kind of teaches you how to basically see the situation, understand what's going on, fix what needs to be fixed, and then be able to move on to the next one and be ready to do the next step depending on what's needed.
Well, for me, it added so much value, from how to know how to turn off gas leaks or how to keep your house from burning up in flames. And so with giving my family and friends and community the opportunity, they're more prepared, they're efficient, they're prompt, and they know what they're doing without having to fall victimized to the situation.
It's important for everyone, my friends, my family, my neighbors, to take this class, because it helps us all be part of the solution and not become a victim. That if at least my neighbor knows how to take care of his stuff, and my family, is one less victim that the city of Dallas or any city has to take care of, because they are prepared. And the whole thing about preparedness is, if we have the tools, we can help each other.
Yeah, it's a real big confidence booster. I'm a hands-on kind of guy, but this kind of gives you that little bit of extra knowledge, a little bit more database in your knowledge to help people or do whatever. But yeah, definitely. It kind of gets your leading skills up. At least it did for me. I don't know. Being able to step up and handle a situation, have people listen to you instead of, being the sheep, so to say, versus the wolf, and understanding.
Oh, I've opened up so much. I am ready to teach everybody and get everybody else involved. I've already signed a couple of people up for CERT because it's really needed.
Absolutely. The best thing about CERT is you learn what to do in an emergency situation, and you start to think about what I do in an emergency situation, and through the process of thinking about it, you become prepared to respond to any circumstance that might confront itself.
I do feel a little more confident in and around my community, walking down the streets, going to the store, and definitely shoulders are pinned a little farther back and chin's a little higher.
One thing I can say that the CERT has helped me increase my confidence, because now I know that the city is looking at ways, or should be providing ways for us to take care of each other. Now, when I go down the road, if I see an accident, I can feel that I can be of assistance. Before, I wasn't sure what laws will cover me, or what can I do, or what I couldn't do. But now, after going through CERT, now I know that there are measures, there are laws in there to protect us, and that makes me feel confident that I can go and help people.
So yes, it has changed my life in an infinite amount. Coming into the class, I knew nothing about CERT, and coming out, I know abundance, and I want to keep learning more. And I mean, it better prepared me. I'm able to know how to save up food for a year, how to be able to use the bathroom with one flush in case electricity goes out and things like that. This class and this program has, I mean, it's amazing, and I've opened up a lot since that day. Well, first of all, narration and PowerPoint slides can get pretty boring really quick. In this class, it's very interactive. They take times after presentations, and we actually get down on the floor, and we work with our parties, work with the coaches to get these things, put them together, and execute them deliberately.
This is a big hands-on thing. They give you a little bit of knowledge, but the PowerPoints have nothing to do with exactly what you're learning. The actual having somebody with a fake wound on them and then having to bandage them up, or being taught how to bandage them from the wound back to the arm, or the breathing, tilting the head back, actually having forcing somebody's head to do it, where your hands on fixing somebody or doing whatever. This isn't a classroom. This is a real life situation. This is what you're going to face when you're out in the real world, and you're going to see tornado victims or somebody hurt in a shock, or a minor injury or major injury or whatever. This is going to get you ready to handle that, and with hands-on experience versus your oh well, in the book it said we do this. No, there's no book here. This is hands-on, ready to go, get your thing done.
Well, this class was great. I mean, other classes that I've taken has been always like death by PowerPoint, which is, so for some stuff it works, but if you want people to develop a skill and feel comfortable doing it, teaching it hands-on is what it goes, it's the best. For me, it was great. It was the first time I had a chance to experience about doing a technical rescue and doing the cribbing. That really impacted me, because now I feel like, whoa, I didn't know that there's something that's simple as a 4x4 can be used to lift up to 6,000 or even up to 12,000 pounds. That alone, the hands-on experience is invaluable. That's one thing that I appreciate the most.
It was great to have a hands-on instructing. It wasn't just death by PowerPoint. The instructors were really good about engaging the class and sharing stories and getting in there and showing you how to bandage, how to put fires out, and it wasn't just sitting around and listening to somebody drone on.
Well, I think the greatest thing about CERT is it's not just sitting in a classroom. You actually go and you learn how to do things. You learn how to do a two-person carry, or a chairlift carry, or a blanket carry. And through that process, you're actually engaged in the thing that you learned how to do with words. And you figure out what you knew and what you didn't know and what you need to know in the future. And so you can't really replace the CERT training that you get with some sort of online course, because there's going to be nobody there watching you to tell you when you're making a mistake or not.
For me, I'm a kinesthetic learner, so I am very hands-on. I prefer to be hands-on. I go to sleep really quick on PowerPoints, and I'll tune out everything really quick on PowerPoints. And even if you're auditory or visual learner, you would benefit from being hands-on with this class.
Well, one thing I can say that the caliber of the college of the teaching that we have is superb. You can feel the sense of pride in each of my instructors. They really are living it, breathing it, and are for it. You know, it's not like they're teaching because, oh, they want to do this because they want to get a paycheck. No, they really embody this stuff. You know, they're all every station. You know, the size up, incident commander, all that stuff. You can see the passion in their eyes. They can explain it to you. They give you examples. It's something that they live and breathe. You know, you have couples, wife and husband, doing this stuff together on their free time. So when I see people doing that, that motivates me to go the extra mile. It does.
Not an expert, but definitely a step in the right direction. It's something everybody should take, even if it's just to prepare themselves. That's fewer people that may necessarily need to be helped.
I'm very prepared, or very much more prepared than I was coming in. The first day, I probably would have fell victim really quick. Could not tell you what to do in the case of a fire. I mean, I can tell you the steps of how to put them out and things like that, but physically how to handle the fire extinguisher with care, how to keep people from bleeding out from arterial wounds. I'm much more prepared now than I was coming in.
I would think that I know so much more about disaster preparedness now after having taken the CERT course than I did ever before. You know, disaster preparedness is something that my wife pays a lot of attention to, and frankly, I don't pay as much attention to it as she does. But you know, you take the course, you find out all of the things that could go wrong. You really start to think about, do I have enough water in my house to survive if the water turns off? What happens if we lose electricity for an extended period of days? And that's the value of CERT.
Oh wow! Taking this class at Dallas CERT has opened and made me aware of a lot of stuff that I was not paying attention at all. I've been living in Dallas for the last 10 years, and now I know. You know, it made me aware of the situations that we need to be more prepared. You know, now I'm aware of the limited resources that the first responders in the city has, and so it's not fair for me as a citizen if I don't do my part to become not a victim, to help the city. So this class was amazing. It was great. Now I know with the heights of where the water lines are in my house. I know I feel confident how to turn off the gas now. First, something I would not bother with. Now I've been taught how to take care of that. Look up for the water main switches, and that alone make me be more prepared than I was 2 weeks ago. I mean, amazing. It's just 20 hours dedicated of this course to the intro made that much of an impact in my everyday.
This was a little bit of an eye-opening experience. My personal experience, I was a part of another disaster group that has very, very low leadership qualities comparatively to Dallas CERT. So when we responded to the Rowlett tornado and Rockwall tornado, we were there within probably 30 minutes before they shut down the roads, before they got all of that. We didn't know, I mean, it was kind of chaos for us because we didn't know what we were doing. There was really no training for us. It was, okay, we got there, then, you know, we were waiting around trying to figure out what we were supposed to be doing. And then they were like, okay, you need to do this. Well, now we actually have a centralized team that we know, okay, look, we've got to do this first. Once we decide what this is done, then we can start breaking up people and to do the other parts of the major thing to assist with fire rescue, to help with the police and all of that. You know, there's some things that maybe they should add on what we're supposed to do in case we run into certain situations, but you know, that's something that could be discussed later in this class.
We can conceive of a situation where the emergency response is so great that all the ambulances, all the police, all the firefighters are engaged in other places, and you still need help in your own community. If you take a CERT course, you learn how to respond to emergency situations on your own while you wait for the first responders to come and help later.
So from least effective to most effective, all the coaches and instructors were very effective. Like I said, we've been hands-on since day one. We've been down there learning how to put out fires and simulations, knowing how to wrap wounds and how to deal with broken bones, how to do splits. We are physically hands-on from the first day all the way up to training.
Well, when I came to CERT, I really didn't know much. You know, I know it's a program through FEMA, and the cities have to prepare people, the citizens, to respond to help each other. But I did not have the idea how deep and how extensive and how useful it is. Now, like I said before, I said to my friends, I go home and I talk about this. Honey, we need to get our list for emergency numbers ready. We need to get our water supplies ready. We need to get our shelter-in-place room. That's something that I have never thought of having. Now I know that if the need comes, we are taking steps to do that. So doing this class was a great value for us.
To be ready, we're never worried about a nice sunny day. If it starts raining and you don't have an umbrella, well, you're gonna get wet. So you should always be prepared.
Well, the CERT's actually invaluable because if you have an emergency situation, you're going to have people out in the streets panicking. There could be riots. There could be all kinds of civil unrest. If people know how to take care of themselves and meet their basic needs in an emergency situation, all of that's much less likely to happen. And so I think CERT should be a basic life skill that they teach in high schools. I mean, basically basic survival skills in terms of how to bandage somebody if they have a bad cut. And knowing, how to treat people and what order you might want to treat people in an emergency situation, it's just invaluable. It's going to make the firefighters of Dallas have a much easier job responding to an emergency. It's going to make the police officers of Dallas have a much easier job responding to emergencies. And frankly, it's going to just make people more comfortable and confident if something does go wrong. And frankly, one day something might.
I would like to emphasize and talk specifically to the elected officials, especially in my district, District 4, that this adds a lot of value to my community. Right now, I'm going to put a sign, a little sign on my front lawn saying that I am in Dallas. I'm a CERT member, and that way, at least my neighbors would know that at least someone on that street knows that they can count on. I'm not trying to take the job of the emergency system, but I do want to be of help for them that way they can go focus the resources where they most need it. And if I can help my neighbors take care of themselves, then I did my part as a citizen. And I really would like that the city council and the mayor and all our elected officials to get behind this, because we need this. If we need the tools to be able to provide for others. And no city can take care of all his residents. But if we provide a means for us to help each other, then we can multiply that force. So I encourage you all to support CERT because we do need it. Thank you.
The CERT program definitely brings value to the community in the form of preparedness. A more prepared community means professional responders have more time to get to people that actually need their professional help.
So CERT has a lot of value behind it. We help out those first responders, firefighters, EMT, paramedics, police officers, whenever they can't get there in enough time. We go there, we check out the people that are involved, we try to help diagnose them or treat them as best as we can. And because of this, like I said, it does add a lot of value, and we need to have CERT because the response time now in a lot of the local neighborhoods is really poor and really slow. And with CERT, with many people being active and certified, we're able to get out there quick as soon as something happens.
Well, if I need to talk to the Dallas City Council and they're trying to make a decision, like most bureaucrats, they've never actually been to this class and they're just doing it on hearsay or whatever they think. Take the class first, then make your decision. Because you're going to find out that this little bit of information that you got here that's going to help your city of Dallas if, hopefully, God forbid, we never have this major disaster in Dallas. But if we do, that you have people like Chris and Joe and the other Joes and everybody else that's decided that, hey, we're going to spend our time to help you get through whatever the city needs. I would just tell you, go take the class, then make your decision, and you're going to find out that this has a very big value for the city of Dallas and the people of Dallas.
I would training with CERT. I'd like more advanced training with CERT, and recurrent training would be a good thing too. Just because we've already covered one unit doesn't mean we should walk away from it and say, okay, well, we've learned that, and move on to the next thing. We need to continue to keep that foundation solid so we can continue with that advanced training.
Absolutely. I think CERT should be offered for different levels of skill level, engagement level, all of that. The best valuable thing that CERT teaches is the basic skills, but you're going to lose those basic skills over time if you're not paying attention and keeping up with things. You're going to forget what you learned in those classes, and by having more classes you can take to further your skills in different areas.
Yeah, I'm very interested in some advanced classes. If the city of Dallas offered them, I'd be happy to take them. I'm sure half the people in my class would be happy to take them. It's a very beneficial class. We've learned a lot. I'd like to learn a lot more. I'd like to be able to help if Dallas offered paramedic school for free, then, I would be happy to take those classes. The CPR, whatever classes they offered, I'd probably take.
Well, I feel that yes, after completing this CERT class, I feel that at least everybody should be offered this chance to take this class. But not only there, but also like for me, this has opened a new path for me that I want to be more part of the city, and I would like to continue taking other courses. I would like to see Dallas CERT provide more advanced classes that are not only online. Online, I surf the net all day, and it's not the same. When you have someone in front of you that could answer your question on the spot, show you where to put the stuff, and share their experiences, that's when you learn the best. So I welcome the Dallas CERT. I hope that Dallas CERT will offer additional classes, advanced classes, one-on-one, live.
So yes, this class very much exceeded my expectations. Coming in, I just needed some education. And so what I've learned was much more than I thought I would have gained from day one all the way up. And even now, today, through every Saturday and coming in faithfully, I'm still learning more, and I want to keep learning more.
Well, I think that CERT courses should be available for people of all levels of skill and all levels of interest. I think that the people who are most interested in CERT will want to take further advanced courses, learn more about different aspects of emergency preparedness, and be able to respond in a time of crisis. And the best way to do that is to have courses that people can take to refresh what they've already learned and also learn additional skills in the future.
So I just completed CERT. I'm proud to be CERT trained. I'm looking forward to completing other courses with Dallas CERT, because I want to be a force multiplier in my community. One of the reasons for that is because I am Hispanic, and I feel that my community is not being served, not being prepared for emergencies. So yo invito y le exhorto a cualquier oficial electo que entienda este mensaje en español. Es necesario que Dallas CERT reciba los fondos y la ayuda para que este programa llegue a todos los miembros de la comunidad. No solamente a personas que hablan inglés, que llegue a toda la comunidad, tanto que en inglés y en español. So yo les pido, por favor, que apoyen el programa CERT, que le den los fondos, le den los recursos, y pues así podemos lograr que la comunidad esté más preparada, más sólida, y poder atender más gente con los menos recursos. Gracias.